Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Welcome to JRsCorner. Welcome to JRsCorner. I'm JR. It was 1993. Bill Clinton was just put in office as the President of the United States. The Buffalo Bills had just lost their third consecutive Super Bowl to the Dallas Cowboys. And Waco, Texas was invaded by the government, the police, whatever they would be called, CIA, I don't know, SWAT, whatever they were, took down that compound. And GM put out this 1993 Chevy C3500 crew cab long bed dually. This baby's got a 454 big block with a 4L80E transmission. Today, we're going to talk about tow pig. This is tow pig. Alright guys, how's it going? Got my big old girl right here, my tow pig. Lots of other names for her. I just call her whatever. Big black dually, you know, whatever. She's a beast. Love this truck. I've only had it for a couple years, but when I was a kid, I always wanted one of these trucks because, first of all, I think they look really mean when they're nice and low. for whatever reason, I always wanted one with the no windows shell on the bed. But I use my bed a lot. I use it for projects around the house and just getting stuff done. I've got this bed liner on there, and I've definitely put that to work since I added that to it. Just wanted to go through a few things with it and see if I can get rid of these bugs. Go through a few things with the truck and just, you know, share what I got and, you know, hear from you guys, because at the end of the day, it's about interacting and sharing stories. So here we go. So it's a 93 Chevy C3500. It's got the 7.4 liter Generation 5 big block in it. She's gutless. It's rated stock, new from the factory, at about 230 horsepower. My Honda Accord almost pulls that much without any mods on it. I mean, I'm sure with some of the mods that it's got, it's probably more than that. I got a bug in my ear. Bug, go away. I got it. I believe the torque is in the 300 range. You know, so for the day, they're not that impressive as far as numbers are concerned, especially comparing them to stuff nowadays. But you got to think about it this way: that was 27 years ago. A lot has changed since then. But at the time, and you know, for that generation, these OBS trucks were very desired. And you know, as far as old trucks are concerned, that era old, there's really not that many other brands out there. There's really not that many trucks out there from other brands such as Ford or Dodge in this era. For example, you know, you still see this body style Chevy pretty much anywhere you go. I've been all over the country. You know, I travel a lot, put a lot of miles on my car. Most of it's in the western U.S., but like, for example, here not too long ago when I went and got my TL, you know, that was a trip that I took to New York and literally drove across the country. You see them everywhere. You see them in the East, you see them in the Midwest, you see them in the West, the South, really anywhere. These trucks are still alive and kicking. And I would have to say that my experience has been, you see these a lot more than you see really any other brands, with the exception of maybe the Toyotas. And the Toyotas are just because they're Toyotas and they're hard to kill. That's a whole other story, which we may or may not get into at another day, because I like me some old Toyota Hilux or pickups. They're fun too. So anyways, she is my tow pig. I just did I put a new transmission in the last summer. It's got the 4L80E in it, and you know, she tows like a horse, although she does not like hills, because she's rated for about 10,000 pounds towing capacity. I push it when I pull my travel trailer at about 10,000 pounds. My trailer dry is in the 9,800 range, so I'm right there. I'm pushing my luck. I'm well aware of that, and you know, for what I paid for the truck and for what she is, she does a great job for me. Although I will say that a diesel is something that I would love to put in her, or get me a diesel truck. You know, it's at this point I just haven't done it yet. Haven't been able to do it yet. They don't make diesel Suburbans. Anyways, so she is a 93. I am, I believe, the fourth owner on this truck. The guy I bought it from was letting his high school kid drive it, and I think he wasn't very good at driving, because, as you can see, these Alcoa wheels that it's got on here, the front ones are scuffed pretty good, like they don't know how to drive, and they did some curb checking. And so one of the things that I need to get fixed on this truck, I also would eventually like to paint it like a blue, like a really like royal blue, maybe add some metallic in there. I think that would look really, really good. And then lower it, but I don't want to go too low. I don't want to bag it, even though I know that's kind of the popular thing to do right now. I use this truck for work. She, you know, I just last summer, 2 summers ago, I probably did like probably 10 tons of gravel. Right now I'm in the middle of, I just bought a house here about a year ago, and so I'm in the middle of trying to get landscaping stuff done for my backyard, and eventually, I'm gonna build myself a swimming pool in the backyard. So she gets put to work. I don't want the towing ability or the ability to weigh down the back end compromised, which I haven't really looked into it a whole lot because obviously it's a lot of money, but I don't want to have to compromise that. And so looking at like probably just doing like a shackle kit or changing up the leaf springs, or maybe low enough that I need spindles for the front, but I haven't quite decided on how low exactly I want it. I just think it's a little bit too high for her to look perfect. The previous owner painted this truck right before I bought it, and I'm going to step out of the way here because right here you can actually see one of the screw ups. So right in here, along here, they didn't prep the paint very well when they before they painted it, and so there were spots on the roof, spots on the hood back here where all the paint was flaking off, and I've just kind of patched it up a little bit just so that it'll get me by and blend in a little bit better. But as you can see, it's still flaking off. The spots I fixed on the hood still flaking, even though I sanded it and everything. It's not the spot that I fixed that's actually having problems now. It's over to the side of it. They just didn't prep the paint, the metal underneath it very well, and so obviously it left a mess. But I am in no means a professional when it comes to body work. I am terrible at it. I do my best with what I have, but I am by no means any good at it at all. So she's 27 years old. She does show her age. She's a good truck though, and she's going to be a project truck that obviously will be on the channel more throughout the future months and years, because she is a project. She's not quite project status yet because obviously my TL is a higher priority since I'm driving that more often, and my Accord I'm working on getting ready for my boys to drive so that they have a way to get to work. I'm just about done with that one. I just repainted that car back in October, and so it's just a matter of getting some better tires and wheels on it, and that car should be good to go. So once I get those few things done, this girl will get my attention, and we'll see what we can do with her. But it should start looking pretty cool. I'll continue to post pictures on Facebook and Instagram, and on my channel I'll do more stories as we do projects on it, and we'll go from there. So let's see here. I'm trying to think of additions that I've done to the truck since I've had her. Well, stickers, 5 horsepower per sticker, so I have 3 stickers on here, even though one's for the Colts. Go Colts. I got my AEM sticker on here for my filter. I got a reusable AEM filter under the hood, and then a snap-on sticker from China because my snap-on sticker that came in my toolbox years ago when I was a mechanic has long since been removed. So she does show her age. The bumper plastic is kind of falling apart, so I'm trying to think of what I want to do for the rear bumper. I've got some new tail lights on the back of her. I also put LED strips along, or not strips, but the actual LED lights that go in the tailgate. I got new ones of those. They're actually LED instead of the other kind. New front end lights, the tow mirrors, although I need new tow mirrors because these ones broke. When the transmission blew up, the shop that I had the transmission replaced at, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, broke my tow mirror, so I just got it in there the best I can for now. And then one of the other things that I've learned about this truck, because she is a 4-door crew cab long bed, is she is kind of a unicorn. I went to SEMA this last year and was talking with some of the guys that run like Restore websites and things like that, and none of them have parts for the crew cab. none of them actually have parts for a 1-ton dually. And so, you know, it's kind of fun to try to, you know, find parts for this girl. But, you know, for what it is, she looks good, and we'll keep her looking as good as we can keep her, and hopefully better, because I do have a lot of plans that I want to do to her. This window regulator is actually broken. I can't find a new one. They're all discontinued. I heard a rumor that the front and the rear are interchangeable, so that's probably my next go-to on that, is to pull the door panels apart and just see what I'm dealing with. But that's as high as that window goes. You know, so she does have a few things that kind of show her age, but at the same time, she's a good truck. She runs great. I can take her anywhere, beat on her, as long as I'm not pulling a trailer up a hill, she will go like a workhorse. And I do have a solution in mind for now to fix the uphill problem. I'm going to probably change the gearing in my rear differential so that it's got more low end torque, which means a higher gear ratio number. I think these ones, I don't know for this for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think these ones are like 410. So I'd just go like a step or two higher than that. I don't need a fast truck. It's not made to go fast, especially if I lower it and I'm getting eaten by bugs. Especially if I lower it, I really don't need the fast. You know, she's just going to be cruising and towing my trailer looking good doing it. So I'm going to probably re-gear it for now, but eventually I would like to do like a 5.9 Cummins swap, get a big old diesel in there, or even just a newer GM crate engine, or, you know, something else that's newer that's got more power, because the Generation 5, they were dogs. They were known as dogs. Everybody gets rid of them. There's not much you can do to them to make them better, because it's a compression thing, it's a head thing. There's guys out there that swap out the heads, that swap out the intakes, try to swap out the cams. I don't know. To me, that seems a lot of work when you can just go buy a motor and an engine and throw it in there and be done with it. So, you know, definitely on the bucket list of things that I want to do, but also got to have, you know, all the priorities, I guess, straight, so that it's done in the right order and done the way we want to do it, so that it looks good and that it's a good truck going forward. And, you know, I would like to have a truck where I can tow my trailer to SEMA and then go in and put the truck on the floor to show it off. At some point, maybe I'll be that lucky, but for now, this is what we got. This is what we're working with, and we'll just keep on going until we get better. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on JRsCorner. Now, I'm not one to shy away from. Want to see him flying my eyeball. I'm not one to shy away from having too many cars. It seems like I always have too many cars, and you know, I guess it is what it is. But this is a truck that ever since my grandpa had one when I was a kid. My grandpa had a farm. He had an '88 Chevy truck, and that one had the dual beam headlights. It had the individual headlights. It was just a weird thing that they had for a year or two, and then they converted to my front end. And I remember working on that truck when I started getting into cars, and you know, I remember there was one time in particular where he couldn't get his truck to start, and thought it was a dead battery, and he had replaced the battery. He couldn't figure it out, and so then finally, you know, I just ate a bug. Ugh. Anyway, you know, finally let me go out and tinker with his truck and see if I can figure it out. And I came back and I said something to the effect of, "It's not your battery. I think it's your starter." But you know, I was 14 or so at the time, and so I didn't know a whole lot, and ended up taking it to the shop. Sure enough, it was the starter. So that was kind of one of the first automotive repair experiences that I had diagnosing something, and I ended up being right, you know. And so that was a fond memory of my grandpa and his Chevy truck.